Wow, that was very quiet. Welcome on a Tuesday night.
Yo,
It's
yo.
loud and nerdy. My name is JW Colwell. I'm your host. Welcome to all, and my host Jerry Kamora joining us
Yes,
from the
sir.
cave. Where you at? You got Poltergeist?
Down in the man cave with the Burger King 3Ds.
I see Poltergeist. Is it Poltergeist on the back there?
Poltergeist 2.
Joe Beth Williams and Craig T. Nelson.
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, welcome to Loud and Nerdy on a Tuesday. I think we have a pretty cool show for you tonight. We're going to talk about some things. But the big thing we're going to talk about, because I think Bloody Disgusting, or one of the big, maybe Fangoria, I can't remember which one, is doing a huge kind of ranking of the Halloween franchise. And I did it pretty easily, right? And as I did it pretty easily, I kind of like thought
It's
it would
not
be a really good topic for us tonight.
sure.
Just as a fun kind of like, considering that we're 3 years away from Halloween celebrating its 50th anniversary, 47 last, I think, Friday. So tonight's big story will be the Halloween franchise. And we'll get to that in a moment because we're going to talk all the
Un
way
momento.
all 13. There's 13 proper Halloween Michael Myers films and one, let's see, one Celtic, I should say Celtic, Sam Hain cult, and
That's
and
actually
then
pretty great. But
the rest are all Michael Myers movies. Let's do some news first. We like box office around here. And we were talking about last night on Generation Movie, but this has been the fall of the anime, right? Anime movies have saved the box office, which is kind of fun. This is the latest number one movie at the box office from Crunchyroll. An anime called Chainsaw Man, Rezi Arc. I don't know. It's not for me, right? I'm just not into anime. Like so, but it came in number one at the box office, which is really cool. It grossed $18 million, and this and the Demon Slayer movie essentially have kept the box office afloat while we waited for movies to come out and movies that hit but didn't hit. So like Tron Ares did okay, but not great. Like it did actually probably not even okay to justify its budget. And then Black Phone 2 was trying to cling to second, but it didn't. It ended up going to third with 12.9 million. So but that movie held strong for a horror film. That movie held at 53%, which is high. Usually horror films drop anywhere from 65 to 70% in the second week. But Black Phone 2 didn't. It has a cumulative gross right now as we speak of about $50 million off a decent sized budget. So, it's got about 81 worldwide. So it kind of has helped itself along and actually reinvented the franchise. We are talking about that a little bit um, as well because its first movie is serial killer movie, a little bit of supernatural. This one is all supernatural with a little bit of a serial killer movie, which is kind of cool. And I would also say the movie it loves and wants to be desperately, Jerry, is Nightmare on Elm Street 3. It wants to be Nightmare on Elm Street 3, and it's not that it's pretty close, but there's a fight at the end, Jerry, and you'll get this. There's a fight at the end where the group of teens has to find bones and consecrate the bones.
bury them. Yeah.
Consecrate the bones, and I was waiting for Amanda Kruger to kind of walk through with her habit. That's a very deep cut for Nightmare on Elm Street
If a
fans.
dog pisses fire, you know it's a ripoff.
Well, but it has similarities where it's like, the grabber comes back and he basically is doing everything via dream, and basically he's coming back to torment the kids from the original movie. And his whole thing is, you killed me, and I'm not happy about you killing me, but now that you killed me, I kind of have some free reign here. Like, so the interesting thing for me is that Ethan Hawke comes back. The kids are now like major stars. the lead from the original movie is basically running the How to Train Your Dragon franchise for Universal. So it's fun and it's well done and it's good. And then the other movie that came out this week that did very well, and I didn't bring the picture. Oh, there it is this movie called Regretting You. It's based on a book. It's one of those novels, I think, from the same lady who did It Ends With Us. But that only did about $13 million. So not a great weekend as we head into the Halloween week. But they are running a lot of, like, I noticed one of our local theaters down here is playing Halloween tomorrow, the original 78.
Rightfully so.
I also did get to see this movie in a theater for the first time in a long time. And man, Jerry, does this movie fucking hold up? Like, you want to watch a movie that knows what it is, knows exactly what it's doing, has all the buttons to push. Things hit a little bit differently now that you know the ending, but it still resonates. The Drew Barrymore sequence, probably one of the best horror movie openings ever. Like, just her entire sequence with the questions and getting Mrs. Voorhees wrong, which now
I remember that.
now kids won't
I
be able
remember that in
to.
the theater.
Now kids
Like,
won't be
what?
able to. Now kids won't be able to because we're gonna have a Mrs. Voorhees show.
Right?
So kids won't be able to forget that shit. But I one of the things, my great Scream story is when the movie originally came out. It was the day after a giant cast party at the University of Scranton for one of the shows I was in, and everybody made plans to go to the matinee showing, the opening day matinee showing of Scream, and one person showed up. So when I went to see it this week, I texted him, I messaged him and said, "Thinking of you, brother. Remember that day and how glorious it was that we were the only, like, there was like 10 people in the theater. Nobody knew what Scream was. We saw it at 1 o'clock on the day it opened, and the rest is history. Where you understand the history
Yep.
of that franchise that's still burning bright. I mean, the last two movies have
I
been
think I went with Jim Pallow and Scott Brown. I think the three of us went.
but that's it's just such a great movie. It holds up well. Let's get some comments. Let's see what we got. Good evening, all. Good evening, Joe Ridgley. He may or may not show up later. Ken, good evening, friends. Good evening, Ken.
What's up,
Again,
Ken?
congrats on the health stuff. Have a great show tonight. Wish I could be with you, but feeling too exhausted. Have a great Halloween, boys.
You
Happy
too.
Halloween to you too, Raven. Thank you for the drop in earlier. No. Halloween 1, 4, 5. That's it. I disagree. I disagree with that. I
Me too.
disagree. I disagree. I disagree with that already.
Me too.
Um, what's Jerry got going on on his cool background?
Poltergeist 2, Joe.
He's watching old movies on his background. He's got a Reanimator shirt and glasses tonight.
Yeah, I got my Burger King 3Ds.
He's on fire, kids.
That's old school right there, brother.
And then thanks. Oh, you're welcome, Ken. We're super happy you're feeling
Living alive.
WPIX.
That's some old school
11.
stuff, right?
WPIX was one of the greatest channels ever. WPIX.
Oh, look, it says 1982 right here. It's kind of hard to read, but
that's amazing, though. But think about having those. But PIX, if you watch Channel 11, you got to watch Batman every day at 2 and 2:30.
Benny Hill.
Benny Hill, and Honeymooners at 11 and 11:30 every night. I was
Monty Python was on too, I think, late night.
Yeah,
right?
I was a night owl, and also WPIX also was the only place you could watch on Christmas Day. Was the only place you could watch March of the Wooden Soldiers.
Well, between that channel and Channel 9, they had 3D movies on TV.
WWOR and WPIX were New York Channel 9 and New York Channel 11.
Awesome.
Great channel.
My two favorite channels growing
we're
up.
talking about that too. Like the idea that the kids today will never know the magic of going to a Blockbuster on a Thursday or Friday night and getting 3 or 4 movies and talking to people and, just walking around and enjoying stuff. They just walk up and they put it on the TV and it's on.
Yep. We had the thrill of the hunt.
Yes, we had the Predator-like thrill of the hunt.
Yep.
What else? Okay. This was a good story that just came out a few minutes ago. John Williams is technically retired, but Steven Spielberg has a a very secretive UFO movie coming out in May or June of this
Close
year.
Encounters Part 2.
I don't think it's going to be Close Encounter. I think it's going to be something. I don't think it's going to be ET either. I think it's going to be spooky, War of the Worlds ish. But nobody knows about it. They just know that they filmed it in Jersey, and it has a pretty good cast. And now they announced today that John Williams, who's technically retired, is going to come, and it's the 30th film they've worked together. Can you imagine?
It's a lot. It's a history. Right
But think about it. Like, if you're Spielberg, right, and you want to have a hit movie, it's like I can't
you
think
need
of
a hit composer.
Yeah, I can't think of anybody you'd want like John. I just need you. I need you one last time.
Like, one more time. Come on. You know you got it in you. I don't know. Well, I got this money laying around. Okay, I'll do it.
Well, and just that the idea that if you have a John Williams score, like I was talking to somebody about this, like is Williams the composer of our lives? Like when we look back on the movies that we've watched and movies I love.
For those kind of movies, absolutely.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like think about it. Superman, Raiders, Jaws, E.T. You know what I mean? Even Phantom Menace, Duel of Fates is one of the greatest symphony orchestra movie soundtracks ever. I will say I did see a movie today. Alexander Desplat is growing on me now as well. He's a very good composer. I saw
Elfman did some really good stuff too.
Elfman does really good work too. I saw this today in a theater, Jerry. Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein. Woo! I had to drive a little bit out of the way to see it because it's not playing locally for me. So I had to go a little out of the way. I had to go up the coast a little bit. But I will say the year of 2025 being the year of horror, it's not a fucking joke. Like you have weapons, you have sinners, you have Bring Her Back, and now this movie. Oh yeah, the Long Walk. This movie is fantastic. I will never understand Jerry. First off, I won't understand why directors are agreeing to just allow their movies to only play in snippets in theaters. I can't believe Del Toro did in this particular case because this is a big, lavish, full gothic horror movie with real, like, practical effects and real set design and a real score, and it's 2 hours and 20 minutes. 29
Is it on par with like Bram Stoker's?
You know what? I think it is. The performances are on par.
Or like Interview with a Vampire, even.
I think it's better than Interview with a Vampire. I don't know that it's better than Bram Stoker's, only because I rewatched that recently, and wow, does that movie hold up too? Like, just like the zeitgeist around that particular movie when it came out, right? Was Oldman was fantastic. You also had Keanu Reeves and Winona Ryder, who had a bit of they were a bit of a thing, right? And so it was a little bit like special there. This, I will tell you, it's kind of chapterized like a book, and it's got a prelude, and then it's got the doctor story, and then the monster story. And it's got Mia Goth in it, who is in Maxine and Pearl and X, and she is not out of place in this movie. She is perfectly placed. And then it has Oscar Isaac as Dr. Frankenstein, and it's got really good effects, man. Like it's got, it's just a really well done gothic horror movie. It has colors and visuals. Do you remember that movie? Can't think of what I'm going up on. I'm blanking on it. The Guillermo del Toro movie, The Crimson. movie. I hate when I go up on it. Hold
I
on.
don't know. I haven't seen it.
Give me 1 second. I'll get it. I hate going up on stuff. I hate it when I go up on stuff. Um,
Crimson Peak.
Crimson Peak. That's the movie. Okay, so I just couldn't think of the last word. I got Crimson. It has like the lush visuals of Crimson Peak, but it has all the gothic horror stuff that you'd want, like Oscar Isaac ripping into bodies and just kind of like pushing things in and like full, full gory practical effects. And the makeup on the monster is really the kid. Jacob Elordi plays the monster, and he's fantastic. Like he's really like good enough for like if they wanted to give him an Academy Award nomination for Best Supporting Actor, he's good enough to get one in this movie. He's a fantastically like he's very like just emotive, and he's underneath a ton of makeup. But the cool thing about the makeup is everything is scars, and it's like the anatomical man. You know what I mean? That you see in like
Right.
a hospital, or it's so fucking groovy. And then it runs a little long, but it's got a spectacle feel to it that's just I can't believe we're not seeing it on more screens. You know what I mean? I can't believe it's not in more theaters. It was like playing at one of the little theaters about
Yeah.
40 miles away, and it's not playing in like any of the big chains down here. And I just can't, I don't understand the concept
Yeah. It's
of
like
making.
Halloween time. Like,
Well, yeah, and Guillermo del Toro is
let's
not
go
somebody.
see the romance movie for Halloween.
Well, and Guillermo del Toro doesn't make movies that don't do well. He makes pretty big movies. You know what I mean? Like he has a name and he had the show, The Cabinet of
And
Curiosity.
like Beverly Hills Cop 4.
Yeah, well, that's the same. It's the same thing. Like I don't understand the concept of putting our movies, especially this one. This one, like you're gonna see it on a TV screen in your house, like when it comes out on Netflix on November 7th. You're gonna see it, Jerry, and you're gonna be like, I wish. Like it's got big, huge sets, and like practical effects, and you know what I mean. Like not that it's like not the movie will be diminished, but when you see it on a TV screen, it's not nearly going to be as cool as how I saw it today, or how Rich saw it. Rich
Right.
saw it at the Pennsylvania Film or Philadelphia Film Critics Festival, right? So I don't understand, and we're gonna do it again. We're about to do it again in like 3 weeks. They're gonna do it again with Wake Up Dead Man, the third Knives Out movie, right? They're gonna do it again, where we're not gonna give you any box office numbers. We're not gonna tell you how
Right
well
to
the movie
streaming.
right to stream. And I don't understand. Now the interesting thing there is
People
that
have a
after
movie
this,
theater in their house.
well, I mean, I love a good movie theater in a house, but there's something about gasping in a theater in a horror movie with a bunch of other people that come out in the middle of nowhere. There's like 25 people in the theater today on a Tuesday in October.
It's pretty good.
You know what I mean? Like not bad. And just I wish more people could see it on a big screen. I wish it was like we were talking about it coming out. I wish it was in IMAX. I wish it was in Dolby. I wish it like, but AMC is not playing like right now.
3D.
AMC is not playing Netflix stuff. Although that may change in the next week or so because AMC realized how much money they lost on K-pop Demon Hunters, and so they might be making a deal. Also, they just announced Stranger Things season 5. The show finale, the absolute last show, comes out December 31st at 5 o'clock. Is playing in theaters. It's it 2 hours in theaters. The final episode of the movie will drop the exact same time as it drops on Netflix. So whether or not you can get people out of their house and into a theater on New Year's Eve, it kind of crowds things out. It crowds things like I'm a big fan of the show, so maybe. But this movie, I like
I
look at
thought
the set here. Look at the set in the poster, Jerry. This is a poster where they're in the Arctic, and Dr. Frankenstein is on that ship, and the monster's hunting him down. and the ship is stuck in ice. It's a glorious big screen gothic horror movie done right. Oscar Isaac is fantastic. Mia Goth is great. Christoph Waltz has a really small part, but it's fantastic. And Jacob Elordi is the he's the star of the movie. Like he's so good as the monster because it's a lot of like improv early where it's movement and just being stuck in a big body, but he is a big kid, and then just kind of working in on how it would be, how awkward it would be with different limbs. It's a really good performance. Like it's, like sometimes you and I know watching horror films that some of the best performances are actually horror film performances, and they never get credit. It'd be
Never.
something if he got credit. It'd be something if we got some Sinners love. It'd be something if we got some Amy Madigan love for Aunt Gladys. It would be nice if
Horror's like always been a black sheep.
right. Well, and horror's always been a moneymaker, but never beloved. But this is the year, Jerry. Like the horror movies this year, I was talking about today. Horror movies this year have been fantastic, like altering. You know what I mean? To the point where you get where not only is horror taken seriously, but I think Sinners is going to be a Best Picture nominee. I think Weapons could be a Best Picture nominee. I think this could be a Best. Not that. Sorry, this could be a Best Picture nominee. Um, it's a really good year for horror, and we have people working in horror that aren't necessarily they're not viewing it as slumming, and you know what I mean. Like some people used to view horror as like I'm slumming, or I'm taking
Yeah.
this like a genre movie, because I'm
Well,
gonna
horror is also a start for everybody too, right?
yeah,
I mean,
it's
all these
great.
big actors and actresses, they came out of horror. A lot of them.
They did. But yeah, but the numbers are interesting. I'd be curious if we ever get to know exactly what the numbers are on that. Um, yeah, how well it did in theaters. But the movie that's going to do very well in theaters is going to be the Wake Up Dead guy. The Knives Out sequel is going to do bonkers business for 2 weeks until it immediately goes right to streaming after 2 weeks, which will be crazy. Like that's crazy to me. We're leaving money on the table. And I don't know how you have a contract where you're leaving that kind of money on the table. I don't know how anybody gets around like maybe we shouldn't do that. Okay. So we've come to this. I'm super excited about this. We're doing this tonight. We're doing Halloween. We're looking at the franchise. So there's 13 proper movies in the franchise. We should go through them first, and then we will do a bit of a ranking. You can fight with me about my rankings, and I think that's the best way to do it. You look at me and go, okay, I agree with that, or whatever.
I
But
got a hunch we'll be somewhat similar, though.
I think we'll be close. I think
I think we're going to be more close than off.
I think the top is really easy, and then the bottom is quantifiable taste.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like is like you know how I feel about a certain filmmaker. Anyway,
Sure.
let's go through them. The 13 movies are proper. I'm going to give the original two posters because I like both of the posters. This is the poster that is now like kind of like prominent, which is a really cool poster. But this is the original poster, and this poster kicks all kinds of ass. The night he came
I used
home.
to have that poster too.
It's a great poster. So that's
When I
one.
was a
That's
kid, I
one
had
out
it.
of 13. 2 out of 13 is this one. Halloween 2 takes place in a hospital. It is a continuation of the same night from the original Halloween. Also has one of the big revelations in the franchise, which is that Jamie Lee Curtis's Laurie Strode is technically Michael's sister, and she was adopted by the Strodes. But that isn't until when I say it's a late reveal in the movie, it is a late reveal in the movie. Like we're talking, everybody's already dead in the hospital,
Yeah.
and they're breaking records, breaking seals in the governor's office in Illinois. Halloween 3, I think, is underrated. Season of the Witch, black sheep of the franchise, is
Cool
the
picture,
only.
though. Cool cover.
Oh, it's a great cover and it's a great poster, and the three it's it's got the Halloween song that goes along with the mask from Silver Shamrock. But it is the only one that does not have Michael. And the bad guy in this one is actually Dan O'Herlihy, Grig from The Last Starfighter. If you're a fan of that movie, he plays a guy who has Stonehenge in his basement of his corporation that basically wants to turn kids into a bunch of bugs.
Silver Shamrock.
Yes. So then the franchise kind of jumps around a bit, right? So that's 1982. That is the last Halloween movie we have until October 21st, 1988, when we get this movie, Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers, which at the time was like a return to form. And then we had two movies right in a row, and then a third one that came in 95. So 88, 89 would bring us this movie, The Revenge of Michael Myers, which focuses again not on Laurie Strode, not on Michael, but on his niece, Jamie, and she is the lead in 4, and she's a child in 4, and she's a child in 5, and then 6 is something called The Curse of Michael Myers. And again, it kind of jumps around. There's two dueling franchises. There are split points. We're going to put them up in a second. We're going to talk about them. Then we get Curse of Michael Myers, and that is in 95. And then 98, kind of a reboot. It wasn't called a reboot, but in 98 we get actually, I'm sorry. We get Halloween H2O, 20 years later, which kind of revitalizes the franchise, has a whole kind of thing, and also has a separate timeline unto itself.
And it's Jamie Lee.
And returns Jamie Lee Curtis so that Laurie Strode, who had died in the 4 and 5 and 6, is not dead here. Jamie Lee returns for a brief death in Halloween Resurrection, which again boasts the fight between Michael Myers and Busta Rhymes. You can see him in the knife. And this one is more of a live streaming movie where basically all these kids are
they were jumping on that trend, right?
They were jumping on that trend. $10,000 to spend a Halloween night in the Myers house. Just so happens Michael comes home that night. So it's a video plus it's a feed kind of movie. And then the franchise kind of dims. And then people, we get Resurrection in 2002, 4 years after H2O. And then 2007, Malika Todd, Andy Gould, and Rob Zombie get together, and we get this movie, Rob Zombie's Halloween, which is essentially a shot-for-shot remake of the original, down to the guy being stuck to the wall, down to the characters and everything. But
we'll get there.
We'll get there.
Anyway, what's next?
Yeah, and then following that, 2 years later in 2009, because the 2007 movie made a ton of money because of the name and because of Rob Zombie, who is, as a director, is a hell of a musician, we get Halloween 2, which is
his second one.
It's the second one of the zombie movies. Then there's a brief respite of the franchise, but in 2018, we get a reboot where Jamie Lee Curtis is alive, Michael is alive, and basically they set it up as Jamie Lee Curtis coming to terms with her now non-brother Michael, and just Michael coming back and unleashing on Haddonfield. And at the time Blumhouse bought the rights, they said we're going to have 3 movies. So in 2018 we get Halloween. 2021. So they were on top of each other. We get Halloween Kills, and then in
Evil dies tonight.
Yet Halloween ends. Okay. And you know the Blumhouse franchise started out very heavy, very heavy, hot and heavy, and kind of just at the end, just kind of faltered. So we have 13 movies. Here's how I view them, and we'll go from there. I'm gonna put them up, and then we'll put up. This is what I did, a banner just to give you an idea. So 13 through 7. Halloween 2 is the worst fucking Michael Myers movie ever made. The zombie Halloween 2 is so bad. It's got unicorns, and it's got white horses, and it's got his wife Sherry Moon Zombie, and it's just fucking bizarre, and it's not good. Like, you can have bizarre offshoot movies where things kind of come up, but it is not good. I then do the Halloween 2007. The zombie Halloween is 12 for me. And it's 12 for me for a lot of reasons, but I'm going to give one that I think is a pretty good reason that I can stick to. There was a John Carpenter gave an interview recently in the last 2 weeks where he said, when I sat down with Rob Zombie, he said he understood the characters. And that's what I remember. I remember him saying, I understand Michael Myers. I understand the characters. When we got to Halloween 2007, what I will say to you is the character, he doesn't get Michael right by a long shot. It's not good. He's a hulking mass. He also has a whole
friggin' 10 feet
he's
tall.
So fucking big. Also, there's a whole thing where that particular Michael Myers is moved on the night I think it's 18th anniversary of the night he actually killed his sister. Also, that movie also has Drunk Daddy,
cheerleader wearing a Slayer shirt.
Yeah, Slutty Mommy. It also has weird kind of decisions all over the place.
Cell phones and corded phones.
But the character that ruins the fucking movie for me, Malcolm McDowell plays Dr. Loomis. And if you're growing up in Halloween,
Malcolm McDowell is so good too.
Malcolm McDowell is great, but he has nothing to work with. This particular Dr. Loomis cares about book sales, doesn't care about people, isn't in to stop Michael. He doesn't have any of the grandness of Donald Pleasance is thrown out the fucking window. Yeah, it's not good.
I agree.
Bad. Okay. I then go to 11. 11 is Halloween Resurrection. It's got the Busta Rhymes fight. It's also, there's nobody in the movie to care about. There's no ties.
Well, especially he's making the sounds. Yeah. Come on, dude. Well, how about when he confronts him too? Like, yeah, just get out of here. Get out of here, motherfucker.
There's also a Laurie Strode kill section where Laurie's in a hospital and Michael breaks into the hospital and murders her. It's just out of hand. It's just crazy. Now, I did like the new movies, but I will say Halloween Ends is my 10th favorite Halloween movie. Michael goes out with a whimper.
It wasn't even a Michael Myers movie, though.
Right, it's the kid. There's a kid that was impacted by Michael, and he kind of goes off the deep end.
Yeah.
And he meets Michael in a fucking, in a sewer.
In the sewer, yeah.
That was Michael, because Michael doesn't have any energy.
They hyped that movie up so much, and then when I saw it, I was like, "What am I watching here?"
Halloween Kills has
nobody wants to see this kid. They want to see Michael Myers.
Yeah, nobody wants to see a kid who's acting like Michael Myers. And I think it was Blumhouse's idea to try to we're gonna make it the next generation or whatever.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're trying to,
he has a bad backstory. It's like he was part of the original murders in the Halloween 2018. Doesn't work. Halloween Kills, aside from having a great opening where basically Michael breaks out of the house from the original
firefighters,
kills all the firefighters, kills all the cops, kills
that was
everything.
A pretty good scene.
It's a great opening, and then the rest of the movie is this weird concoction of paranoia and people making bad decisions.
Well, and then they were trying to do throwbacks to the season of the witch, and
the masks from season of the witch appear in it, but also it has the person that they kill as Michael Myers is the smallest person in the movie.
Yeah,
there's a person that they think is Michael Myers, and anybody watching the movie would go, that guy's 5'2".
Right.
Like that guy's not.
I don't want a 7-foot Michael Myers, but a 5'2" one. I mean, no.
Okay.
Gotta be like
we're gonna finish the top 7, and then we're gonna show a great graphic I have. So Halloween: The Curse of Michael Myers. This is an interesting movie. It happens after Halloween: The Return of Michael Myers. And the Curse and the Revenge movies are on the same plane for me, right? They're Halloween movies, but they have weird stuff going on in them. Curse is right at the end of Donald Pleasant's life, so he looks like he's struggling through the filming. It also has a weird subplot with a baby that's born. Paul Rudd's in it. He's protecting the baby the entire movie. This movie also, and The Revenge of Michael Myers, also
that was the whole cult thing, right?
Right. It has the Sam Hain cult thing going, where basically there's a guy
who's instructing Michael,
who's instructing Michael, and is Michael's keeper.
Yeah.
At the end of The Revenge of Michael Myers, the 7th one on our list, right? 8 is Curse, 7 is Revenge. At the end of Revenge of Michael Myers, they capture Michael. And then they go to the police station, and Michael's under chains and just like he's captured, still wearing his mask, by the way. Under chains and captured, but at the end, this gold-tipped shoe guy shows up, who's got a cane, and it's just like you can't tell if it's supposed to be the incarnation of the devil or whatever it's supposed to be. And you find out in The Curse of Michael Myers that basically the doctor that was running the Haddonfield Sanitarium that was always against Donald Pleasance and the Dr. Loomis character is part of a cult that has raised Michael since birth to basically go out and kill for the cult, the Sam Hain cult. I don't know that it works, but I think it works better than some of the movies that are lower than it.
Yes.
And I will also bring up this particular interesting little, this is the offshoot timeline. Oh my God. Okay. Hold on.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's awesome. I got to get rid of the banner. Hold on. Oh no! How am I going to do this? Okay, it doesn't work out. Oh no!
You needed a white background.
I did need a white background. This is terrible. Hold on. Oh no!
Mr.
This
Bill.
is awful. No.
Oh no, Mr.
Oh
Bill.
no! This is terrible. How do I do this? Hold on. I can figure this out. We can do this.
I know you used to watch that too.
I definitely watched that.
And Gumby. That's a little better. You could see it.
Yeah, okay. So there's 2 offshoots. So there's Halloween, Halloween 2, Halloween 4, 5, and then Curse, Revenge and Curse, right? 89, 95. But Halloween, if you look at it, when they did H2O had its own break-off point. So Halloween, Halloween 2, and then it breaks off into Halloween, which is right here in the center between us. It says Halloween H2O and Halloween Resurrection. Then they did a separate break-off point where it's Halloween 2018, Halloween Kills, and Halloween Ends. So there are, and then down here, all by the lonesome, if you look,
the season
of Halloween and Halloween 2 and Halloween 3 Season of the Witch are all by themselves. So I think it's an interesting thing when you do the timeline stuff on it, but it's also the timeline thing is messy. I don't hate The Curse of Michael Myers. I don't hate The Revenge of Michael Myers. I think they went into crazy things. So listing as we go.
It almost reminds me of how Hellraiser went a little bit too.
Bonkers. 13,
right.
I have this. Halloween 2. 12, I have this. Halloween. I then, I'm fair because I think Ends. Actually, Resurrection was next. And then Ends.
Yeah.
And Kills. Right?
I could those Resurrection and ends are interchangeable for me.
That's what I mean. Like they're
interchangeable.
They're bombers, like whatever. And then I would say you jump into
then that one,
then Revenge, or then I'm sorry, then Revenge, then Curse, right? Or then Curse, then Revenge. I'm good with that. I feel good about my
yeah. I'm pretty on par with that.
Okay, let's do the top 6 because again, I had fun with this. 6, I'm going Halloween 3: Season of the Witch. I know everybody hates it. I know everybody. It's like the redheaded stepchild of Halloween movies. But hear me out on this one. It's got a really good performance, at the center of it, and it's got a cool concept. And it actually is John Carpenter's original concept. Originally, conceptually, the Halloween movies were supposed to be anthology movies with different stories. It's never meant to be a Michael Myers franchise.
Our lists are starting to get a little different here.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, but go on.
I have 3, Halloween 3: Season of the Witch at 6. I then jump. I think the Halloween 2018 is pretty great. It's in the top 5. It was an exciting movie. It had the ending was fantastic, Jerry. Laurie Strode lures Michael to her house, and she has been prepping this house since Halloween 2. Right? She's been prepping this house forever, and it's a trap for Michael. And I love that concept that Laurie was on fire. Right? That you're not. I'm not trapped in here with you. You're trapped in here with me. And I thought it was a great thing. She had the shotgun. She had her daughter. She had her granddaughter. It was great. I loved it. I did not love it better than Halloween H2O, though, because that movie rocks. That movie has LL Cool J. It's got Josh Hartnett. It's got a great Jamie Lee Curtis performance. It has an excellent Michael. And at the time, had one of the best Halloween endings ever. Michael gets trapped in the tree at the end, and Jamie Lee Curtis cuts his fucking head off. It was great, and then they refurbished it with Resurrection. But that sequence where she steals the ambulance, Michael sits up in the body bag, she crashes the ambulance, Michael gets stuck, she takes a fucking axe, cuts the head off, and the music hits. Awesome. 3, The Return of Michael Myers. I can't put into words of how great in 1988 going to Halloween, The Return of Michael Myers was. It was so much fun. It was one of the most fun times you could have at a theater. Halloween fans were back. It has a great story. It's got the little girl. It has one of the best kills in the entire franchise, with the blonde in the short outfit who gets stuck with a shotgun into a wall. It's got everything. It's got the sitting in the fucking rocking chair. It's got everything. It's also got like Michael Myers impersonators. It's got people like itchy trigger fingers. Like it's got all kinds of things. I love it. I think it's great. Halloween 2, I would argue with anybody, is the best franchise sequel movie ever made. We could get into an argument. You could pick a Friday the 13th movie here or there. You could pick 4. You could pick 6. Pick 3. Some people like 3. Some people like 2. But I think Halloween 2, hospitals are scary, Jared. And the kills in 2 are great. You know, the girl gets her skin, ripped off.
Yes.
The kid who goes into the room where the doctor's blood has been draining and he fucking has a concussion. Like he goes in, doesn't see the blood on the floor, slips and fucking trips and hits his head. The nurse with the clogs, scalpel up, Michael lifting her 5 fucking feet off the ground. And then the fucking hunt. Jamie Lee Curtis, damaged, bruised, broken, keeping away.
Up and run with the crawling. Come on.
The crawling, but also like the sequence, like it also has one of the greatest sequences ever. Like the end sequence when Loomis and the cop arrive, and Jamie Lee Curtis is in the car, and she has to get from the car to the door on the broken ankle or whatever the fuck is wrong with her ankle, and Michael appears behind the red light of the hospital. It's as close to Michael Myers' perfection, and the hospital is just super scary in that. It's like the darkest fucking hospital I've ever seen. Right there, nobody has any lights on. Like, he kills one of the doctors, and we don't even see the kill. They find the doctor, and his eyeballs floating in a fucking fish tank. We don't know when that happened. He also has the great kill with the guy in the fucking basement, the security guard. Oh my god! So it's got good kills. It's well done, and it's
that
scary.
movie was. I saw that in the movies, and it was terrifying because of
it also has one
of the hospital. How empty and desolate.
How empty and desolate it was,
and dark. And
all the fucking tires in the fucking cars outside are all trash. Also has a great ending with Michael and Donald Pleasance kind of going head to head. Michael and Dr. Loomis going head to head, and him shooting Michael's eyes out, and then the gas, swipes with the scalpel, and the swipe. You can hear it in your head.
Yep.
Fucking good. And then both eyes get shot out, so he has the blood coming down the mask. It's great. And then he comes out and he's fucking burning, and it's just awesome. Also ends on a really great note. It ends on Mr. Sandman, Bring Me a Dream. Just a great use of music in a non-traditional way.
Now, on this list here, it's not all that different. But I would swap. I would put 2018 as my 6.
Okay.
And then H2O would be my 5.
Okay.
Right. And then
Season of
Return would be 4, and Halloween 3 would be my 3.
Oh, okay. So you're actually going 1, 2, and 3.
Yes.
In your ratings. Okay, that's interesting. I love 3, but I understand why people are disappointed with it.
Do. Like, when I was a kid, I was too, because it's like, where is he?
But as we've gotten
this isn't a Halloween movie, but now that when I got older and I understood the movie, it kind of doesn't fit with them, right?
It also
that movie's a great movie.
One of the things we're not talking about, it has an amazing Tom Atkins performance.
Yeah, well, and he's great in everything he does.
Tom Atkins can make a movie better just by being in it.
Thrill Me.
Night of the Creeps. Exactly. But so I just put Halloween 3 in the middle because I feel it like if you're going true Myers, you have to.
Yeah, and I could agree with that. I just think as like if I'm looking at content of movie and just taking Michael out of it,
I think 4 is one of 4 and 2 are 2 of my favorite sequel movies. They're sequel movies that they're not junky. Like they're well done. You have characters you care about.
And honestly, sometimes depending on my mood, I guess I can interchange the first one and the second one. Because I just think 2 is that good, depending on my mood.
2 is, you know what, 2 is really good.
Like just because it's terrifying. Like the first one, absolutely terrifying when he in the car and the breathing and everything. Like that was pretty great.
But 2 is him and his powers. 2 is him like kind of like that's where it became a franchise, right?
Yes.
I think that's part of it. But I have Halloween at 1.
Yeah, and I think that I do too, technically, but every once in a while I'm like, well, 2 is right there. Well,
it's a 1 of 1, right? It's a 1 of 1. It is one of the most important horror movies ever made. It's an independent movie. John Carpenter, Deborah Hill. It gives us Jamie Lee Curtis. It does all of these things that make it special, right? And it births Michael. It also births think about this, Jared. It births the fake ending for every horror film ever made afterwards, because the end of the movie. First off, it is a master class in suspense. It is a master class of shadows. And just seeing Michael carrying a body and walking into the house, or like, it's amazing. all the other things like the PJ Souls nudity, everything that makes it special. The Judith Myers, like we and but the and this is something I'm always gonna talk about. Donald Pleasance is the Ahab, right? He's looking for the white whale, and he's so good, and I don't think he knew what he was getting into with this franchise when he said he was going to do it.
But he did it well.
He does it so well that he becomes this, like, I was thinking about when we were kids and we're playing Halloween, right? You had to have a Loomis. You could have a Michael Myers running around, but somebody had to play Loomis. Somebody had to have the gun to try to protect people from getting killed. And I just think Donald Pleasance it's one of the biggest differences between this movie and this movie is how bad the Loomis character is. It's the prime.
I know, and I like him too.
McDowell Loomis is so fucking bad. Let's get some comments and see what people think. Okay, technically Michael's in 3s on the TV in one of the scenes. Ken, that doesn't count. Stop it, Ken. If I had to choose, I take Rob Zombie's 2 movies over Halloween Ends. Nope. Halloween Ends is a bad movie. But the Rob Zombie movies are abominations. They are just.
There was a lot of plot holes in his first one, though.
I will also tell you a little story. I remember vividly the day Rob Zombie's Halloween opened in 2007. I was working at Endless Mountains Theater. Remember it vividly. I remember a kid and his dad came. The kid was like 7 or 8, dressed up like Michael. And this is a true story. This is one of my favorite stories ever. I told the dad, I'm like, I watched it last night. It's not your Halloween. It's probably not his Halloween. And he goes, well, he watches it every year on AMC, and he watches it, and he loves it, and he just loves the character. He watches them all, during fair
enough.
Terror Vision, whatever. So I said, okay, I'm going to make you a deal. I'm going to sell you the tickets, but if you come out in 20 minutes and you want your refund, I'm going to give you a refund because I don't think you're going to last. And 20 minutes later, he came out and he goes, what's with all the stripper stuff? And what's with all the the drunk dad beating him? What's with the torturing the animals and killing his little childhood friend? What's all that shit about? I'm like, I don't know. We're never going to be able to explain it, to be honest. And he goes, thanks for understanding. And the little kid was heartbroken, but I'm like, you still have Michael. You can watch Michael. Daddy.
There's a lot of them.
and they're not as bad as that. Let's see.
And the
Resurrection. They made the house seem like it was a 15-room mansion. Yeah, it was crazy. Spend a night in a Myers house. By the way, who does that? I actually like Rob Zombie's first Halloween. I thought the mask thing was cool. I had to turn the second one off with the White Horse. Couldn't follow it. Tried inebriated too. Yeah. Okay. I didn't. The mask thing is one of Joe. I love you, but the mask thing is one of the stupidest things I've ever seen in a movie in my life.
But wasn't it I haven't seen this in years, but didn't the mask start off regular? They buried it under the floorboards and then it had scars on it later.
No, that was in 2. That was in Halloween 2.
No, I think that was I think they buried it under floorboards, right? It was under floorboards in the house, and he went.
I don't know. I don't remember it. All I know is that they were transferring it. Well, first off, he had a bunch of masks in his room, right? He was in the mental facility, and he had a bunch of masks in his room, and they were allowing him to walk around with masks on, which was crazy. And then they transferred him on the anniversary.
I thought later on, when he broke out, he went back to the house that was burned.
And it was under the floor.
And it was under the floor. And the mask had all scars on it and everything. I didn't have it before.
So bad.
I don't know.
I hate that movie so much. The second one is almost unwatchable, especially because his wife is so prevalently. Anyway, if I hear Evil Dies Tonight ever again, it won't be too soon. I agree with that. Halloween meets Home Alone. Yeah. And then you guys sound pretty good in Dolby 7.14 Atmos. Well, we appreciate that. But like I said, I think the interesting thing about the franchise is that you could have different choices But I think if you look at them going down the list, for me too, and the zombie Halloweens are bottom barrel. I don't respect Resurrection because it's a weird fucking Busta Rhymes fight.
Yeah, that was silly.
Ends and kills have good moments. Ends probably less than kills.
Ends was a huge letdown, though, right?
Right, because it focused on the kid, and it was like
should have been like we're waiting
also,
for. Michael, ends should have been the head chop off.
Yes, I agree.
Right, if you would have swapped that out, it would have been better.
Curse and Revenge have recently there have been producer cuts and director's cuts that have filled in the gaps because they were trying to make an 1.5-hour movie, and they shot a lot more footage for Curse and Revenge. So those have gotten a little bit better recently. But I'll stand by my top 6. I think Season of the Witch, I think if you look at it logistically, it is a fun movie. If it didn't have a Halloween name on it, it was just called Season of the Witch, we'd think it's one of the weird, quirky 80s horror films that we love. Halloween 2018, I was looking at numbers, Jerry. Like, numbers for this franchise is astounding. Original Halloween, worldwide gross, $70.2 million. If you adjusted it for domestic box office now, it would be $227 million. So it'd be like the third or fourth highest grossing movie of the summer. The Halloween from Zombie, those movies opened high, 58 million, and with a 19 million international, so 77.5. Domestic box office inflated would be 95. So again, not really high. Halloween in 2018, though, listen to this shit, Jerry. 159 domestic, 96 international, $255 million worldwide. So, and the 159 will be adjusted to 197 now, so it'd be over $200 million.
They really did a lot of good promotion for that, though. Like way ahead of time.
If you think about it, they were taking over the franchise. They were taking over.
Yeah.
It was Blumhouse.
They really pushed it.
Right. They pushed it, but also that movie holds up really well. Like the 2018 Halloween, you can watch that now, and actually, if you watch it there, right, and it ends with the very cool fight in the house where she's trapping him at various sections, and then finally she's like, "You're not trapped. I'm not trapped in here with you. You're trapped with me." And I just really like that. H2O, by the way, grosses for H2O. Holy shit, right? Like, so Halloween, again, Halloween grosses 255 worldwide. Halloween 2 from Zombie grosses 33.38. So immediately it drops from 58 to 33 and worldwide 77 to 38. So nobody gave a fuck after the first time Rob Zombie got his hand on the franchise. Halloween 3, 14.4. Halloween 4, 17.7. Revenge, 11.6. Halloween Ends, 64.0 with 105 international. Halloween 2 in 1981 grossed 25 million. And if you did it adjusted for box office inflation would be 103. And that's just astounding, right? 25 million in 1981 is a lot of fucking money. And then just going down the list. Halloween Kills 92 million, 130. So that franchise petered out too. So when Halloween 159, 255, Halloween Kills was 92, 130, and then Halloween Ends was 64, 105. So falling down, right? Going downward. H2O, though, in 98, $55 million. Adjusted for inflation, 132.
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Well, and H2O, if you remember, like H2O, when H2O came back, that movie banged at the box office. That movie, people were excited about it. They were there for opening night, and and it's a good like, it's set in a little school. It's well done, you know. But I think that's a really good list. I don't know if everybody agrees with my list, but I will stick by my list.
I told you we'd be pretty close.
Well, and I think
we're not exact, but we're close. We're closer than not.
And also, I think my thing is I no matter how much I love Halloween 3: Season of the Witch, I'm gonna properly place it behind most Myers movies, just because of the sheer volume of disappointment that people had when it came out. Right. So, but that's a definitive list. Halloween 78 is still the king. If we somehow, with Bloody Disgusting or wherever is doing this ranking, if they come out on Friday of this week and it doesn't have 78 at the top of the fucking list, go fuck yourself. Sideways. And Halloween 2 should be, those top two should be no problems. Because Halloween 2 is, for my money, the best horror franchise sequel ever made. Like, it's Halloween 2. I think I can give you 4. Halloween 2, Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Dream Warriors, Friday the 13th, Final Chapter, Hellraiser 2. Hellraiser 2 is good.
Hellraiser 2 was really good, too.
The Doctor obsessed with the box. I suggest Reputation.
Yeah, that's a good competitor for your Halloween.
That's a good competitor. But if you're looking at the franchises, like, Halloween 2 is hard to beat because it was solid. It was well done. It was scary. It extended Michael. It made him almost unstoppable, you know. But that's the definitive list. Halloween 78 wins for me, as it should for everybody. Like, it's just, I know it doesn't have as much violence, and I know it doesn't have as all the stuff, but the bells and whistles it has are so well done. Also, if you're paying really close attention, 1978 when it comes out, what's the movie they're watching on Dr. Demento, Jerry? You remember?
I don't remember.
For all you John Carpenter fans out there,
I haven't seen it in a while.
So they're watching the movie where he invites a little girl over to watch with Tommy Doyle, right? Tommy Doyle invites a little girl over. The movie they're watching is The Thing, Jerry.
Okay.
The Thing from Another World. And in 1982, John Carpenter would remake The Thing to the thing that we now is viewed as one of the quintessential horror films ever made. So
I got another competitor too.
What's yours?
Sequel. Creepshow 2.
Creepshow 2 is pretty good. Creepshow 2, I think the interesting thing about Creepshow 2 is, for me, I think not all the stories are like, for The Raft, right? The Raft is the best of that movie. I'd say The Raft, right?
I like the first one. No, I like Chief Woodenhead though too.
Chief Woodenhead, okay. But
Creepshow 2 is The Raft is the one that's known to be the one, right?
Right. Well, it's the one because it has all the gore. It's the one that also ends like, we don't get horror films. We don't have horror films that end the way that the horror films that ended for us.
Now, Creepshow 3, have you seen that?
No.
Don't. It's stories, but
did you see what popped up on Tubi? This is for anybody who's watching our show and wants like stuff we might dive into. Did you see the Freddy's Nightmares that popped up on Tubi?
Yes, I did see that. I didn't watch them, but I have those. I have them saved somewhere anyway, but I did see that pop up.
I was just amazed that it popped up.
I have the Friday the 13th, the series too. I have all those.
That show was fantastic. Again, in name only.
Right.
Because there's no Jason.
Which was somewhat disappointing at first. I'm like, oh, Friday the 13th.
Yeah, but then
what is this trinket shop? But
it was good. That trio developed for me.
It's like Halloween 3.
Yeah, it develops.
This is
just the idea that it's haunted objects and they go like, it becomes like an episode of the week, but also the bonding between the three actors on that show are really good.
Yeah, no,
Also,
it ended up being a good series. It was just at first
the sci-fi show,
the first watch is
Warehouse
disappointing, right?
Warehouse 13. A little bit like that. Okay, let's get some comments. Hope everybody liked our Halloween thing. Jerry, I need to talk projectors soon.
Me too. This one's an old one.
Have you ever seen the version in 1978 without the music? Holy crap, the music made a huge difference. No, and I would never want
did.
like
I bet it would make a big difference.
It would make a huge difference, but also like, are you gonna watch Psycho without the music? Are you gonna watch Jaws without the music? Like every once in a while,
when music is
right. Well, yes. Are you gonna watch Star Wars without the music? Like Superman, like Superman's music is so good that they brought it back. You know what I mean? Like it's I would never want to watch the version of that only because part of the it's like the components, like everything might fail without all of the components. Okay. Good talk. I like our Halloween list. I'm happy with my choices. I'm happy with your choices. Make sense.
They're very close.
Yeah, they're so close. And it's just a matter of like, I don't know. It's just a matter of like, what do you like? I think part of it is how much are you attached to 3? How attached the 3 have you gotten as you've gotten older? Is part of it.
I have.
Right, and that's
I understand.
I understand it.
It doesn't fit in with them.
So for my list, the deference for my list was I came up with the idea in my head that I didn't want any Myers movies to not be in the I don't want a non-Myers movie.
You didn't want to overshadow it by something.
Yes, right? and the other thing is like
that makes sense. That's fair. That's fair.
4 is a good sequel, and H2O is a great movie, and 2018 is pretty well done. You know what I mean? Like
that's fair to say. I just have the nostalgia.
Yeah, no, but I think if you're going to do a Halloween franchise, it has to have Michael. The top 5 has to have Michael.
I do. Well, yeah, I can agree with that.
What came from your basement this week, Jerry? What do you got for us?
This week, I have 2000 Maniacs. Herschel Gordon Lewis.
This is a 1964
movie.
1964.
From Something Weird Video. Well, they redistributed it, but
Herschel Gordon Lewis. This is one of the earliest Hicksploitation films, right, Jerry?
Yes, he was known for that, though. He had Blood Feast and 2000 Maniacs and the Gore Girls. Color Me Blood Red. Yeah, he was known for that. And this movie is basically about a southern town that got eliminated in the Civil War. They all got killed, and they every 100 years or so, whenever someone from the north, the Yanks, come down and they get sidetracked and end up in this little town, the ghosts of these people hold like a big fair in honor of their guests, but their guests aren't really honored. They have to participate in games, and these games are deadly games. So one girl gets crushed by a rock, another guy has to do a barrel roll, but they put nails in it first and then roll them down the hill.
Yeah, this is also early Saw, right? I mean, it's
pretty similar.
It's got a Saw vibe to it. It's one of the Rufus, Lester, and the mayor, right? Are the ones where you're like, you sit up and you go, they're creepy as fuck, right? And it's just but in 1964, this movie caused all kinds of trouble. It screened largely at drive-in theaters during its time, right? Did very well in the southern United States. It was met with controversy due to graphic violence. It had tons of cuts by the MPAA, the Motion Picture Association of America. It was banned in the city of Chicago. But despite this, it became a huge sensation.
Pretty graphic for 64.
Yeah, its structure and everything sets up. It's basically, movies that owe this movie allegiance are Motel Hell, Hills Have Eyes, Like,
well, a lot of splatter movies too, because this
yeah,
guy, sort of pioneered some of that
he was
in
really,
these
yeah.
movies. All of his movies are like this too. They all have that gore element about them for the early 60s.
And look at the fucking poster, man. Look at how great the poster is. An entire town bathed in pulsing human blood. Madmen crazed for carnage. Mutual evil. Ghastly. Beyond belief. Gruesomely stained in blood color. Like, they don't make posters like this anymore. Great movie. Um, let's jump right to Twilight Zone. Twilight Zone Redux. And I'm going to be honest, Jerry, I've never seen this episode in my life.
I haven't either.
Holy shit. So we are at the season 3, episode 11. The episode is titled Still Valley. And it basically it's this I don't even know how to explain it, Jerry. I was like thinking about it, right? It's basically like it starts out as this two-person kind of like Rod Serling's talking about the Civil War, and it starts out as this two-person thing where two guys are kind of they've been given a mission and the mission kind of sucks, and like they it's at the tail end of the war, so like they're losing, it's not going well, and everything kind of like it just creates this like also the one guy is a coward, like a flat out just flat coward. And and the one and basically, they're on the Confederacy side. They're fighting on the wrong side, which has never really been a question until fucking recently. And they kind of know they're on the wrong side. They're also on the side where they're losing, they're hungry, things aren't going well. Um, and it just becomes this kind of like it starts out weird, and
Desperate.
they're desperate, and it becomes this. It starts out really weird, and it becomes this kind of like the kind of thing where you're like, what is happening? It's called Still Valley. It's written by Rod Serling, so it's going to have a heavy emphasis on morality, right? Because he was big into that. Opening narration. The time is 1863. The place is the state of Virginia. The event is a mass bloodletting known as the Civil War. A tragic moment at a time when a nation was split into two fragments, each fragment deeming itself a nation. And then Paradine and Dogger have some dialogue, and then this is Joseph Paradine, Confederate cavalry, as he heads down toward a small town in the middle of a valley. But very shortly, Joseph Paradine will make contact with the enemy. He will also make contact with an outpost not found on a military map, an outpost called the Twilight Zone. So Paradine is this guy. He's fighting with his friend. Serling appears in the fucking bushes. He goes down to the town where the North is rallying troops. But as he walks through the town, all the troops are still. They're not moving. They're not talking. Some are
he's yelling at them and everything.
Yelling at them, and some are stuck in bushes, like in the middle of holding a crate or in the middle of holding a milk jug. And
and that was pretty good. I mean, the dude's holding that barrel. I was watching him. I'm like, I'm gonna see if he moves. He did pretty good though.
They did pretty good. They didn't fucking move.
The other guy on the wagon with the foot hanging off.
Yeah, it's really kind of creepy and eerie. And Paradine eventually finds like a giant like wagon full of food that they haven't eaten in a few days, hasn't had meat or anything. And then a windowsill, a pot falls off a windowsill. He goes to investigate, and as he goes to investigate, he looks through the window, and there's a man there. And he starts talking to the man, and the man who's holding a book. And it quickly evolves into, holy fuck, what is happening? But that book, the words on the front of that book are witchcraft. He says he tells Paradine who doesn't believe him that he is a seventh son of a seventh son. He is a conjurer. He is a person that can change the way of the war. He can stop it.
I can freeze the whole
I
Union
can
Army.
freeze the whole Union Army. And he basically, Paradigm doesn't believe him, so he freezes Paradigm.
Yeah,
Like he freezes him in his fucking tracks, and it really gets
listen,
weird.
old man.
Well, he freezes him in his tracks, and it becomes this weird, like, now you believe me, don't you?
Yeah, you
And
can't move,
just,
but you could hear
he's
me.
a dodgy codger, and he's like, I live down in the swamp, and I'm a seventh son of a seventh son. I'm a next generation conjurer, but I'm dying. I'm dying. I'm gonna
By
give
the
you
end of today.
by the end of today, I will die. But I'm gonna give you the book because I want the South to win. And it's and
I
as
can
the
tell you're the man.
guy
I can
is
see
from
it
the
in your
book,
eyes.
I can see it in your eyes. You want to win too, boy. And as he's reading from the book, Paradigm realizes the things the guy is saying are satanic. Basically, give a
It sounds like the devil.
turn
That's
your
right, son. It
that's
is
right.
the
It is
devil.
the devil. You have to, one of the lines is turn your back on God and pray to His holiness.
You
Satan,
want to win, don't you?
you want to win, don't you? And so Paradigm, the guy dies. Paradigm takes the book, and Paradigm goes back to his Paradigm in the storyline goes back to meet his lieutenant. But as he's going back to meet his lieutenant, he stops by an area where they're having trouble with Union soldiers, and uses the book. And he knows he has caused this. And when he goes to report to his lieutenant gets another report that all the men on this one hill that they were trying to take just stopped moving. And
Yeah, as he's trying to convince him that this book works, the guy comes back, the scout or whatever comes back and says that they just stopped moving, and he's giving him like the fisheye, like, see,
it was the eeriest thing I'd ever seen. But then Paradigm starts to think about things. Paradigm has a morality issue, and he tells the lieutenant, this book, I got the spell to work, but I had to forsake God, and I had to say I would bend my will to the will of Satan. And the lieutenant says, well, if we can win the war, you know how much we're struggling, you know how much we need to do it. And one of the guys grabs the book out of his hand, starts looking through it. It's like, no, we can't do this. This just isn't right. And Paradigm takes the book and he throws it in the fire. And we get the closing narration, which is, on the following morning, Sergeant Paradigm and the rest of these men were moved up to north to a little town in Pennsylvania, an obscure little place where a battle was brewing, a town called Gettysburg. And this one was fought without the help of the devil. Small historical notes not to be found in any known books, but part of the records in the Twilight Zone. And,
cool.
Paradigm saying if the Confederacy is to die, it should be buried in hallowed ground. Is just one of the great, like, it's a historical episode, but it's also like an episode where it has the morality in play. And this is one of the characters in the Twilight Zone that actually makes the right choice, even though it will hurt his side and will effectively end the Confederacy. I have never seen this episode. This episode was fantastic. I've never seen
it either.
And it's Gary Merrill, Vaughn Taylor, Ben Cooper, Mark Tapscott, and Jack Manis. It's a 5-player thing. Teague, Vaughn Taylor, is chilling. He's scary, super scary. The witch, right? I'm a witch man. Used to be use a magic spell, freeze soldiers. And then he casts it on Paradigm. It's such a good episode, though. Really, was based on a short story called The Valley Was Still by Manly Wade Wellman. In the original story, Paradigm kills Teague when he finds out to make the spellbook work, he must sign his name in blood. Later, also in the story, when the spell is broken, when the book is burned, the soldiers, both Union and Confederates, have a big battle in the valley. So it is a really good episode that I have never seen, and it was really good, really well done, kind of like the height of like morality with regards to history, with regards to the witchcraft angle. Like that guy is so fucking creepy. He's got a beard and his hair's all messed up. It's look at him. Look at how scary he looks. I'm a seventh son of a seventh son. I'm a witch man. Like, oh. So great episode. We move on to episode 12, which is an episode next week, directed by William Claxton, teleplay by Charles Beaumont, another great writer, called The Jungle. So next week is The Jungle, but that's our Twilight Zone Redux for this week. What a great episode. Still Valley, one of and like you said, right? What did you say last week? Season 3, they are firing on all cylinders. Like the cylinders are just going all the right, like stories that, layers and just depth.
Yeah, the writing's great.
The writing's off the charts. And like any one of these could be made into a major motion picture, and it would they would kill at the box office. Like today's day and age, they would kill because the stories are so layered. And like the idea that Paradigm, who loves the Confederacy and is starving, and he basically says, if I'm part of something that's going to die, I want it to die honorably. It can't be signing no book with the devil. Bobby Boucher. I'm sorry. That's what I was thinking the whole day, like Bobby Boucher, and that man's the devil. Joe writes, the band 10,000 Maniacs got its name from a misunderstanding of the title of the low-budget 1964 horror movie 2,000 Maniacs. Band's members who had not seen the movie incorrectly remember the title as 10,000 Maniacs and decided to use the incorrect term for their own band. Who knew? Great stuff, Joe. Sidebar, my wife bet one of the sax players for Eric Clapton, Billy Joel, Chicago, and more. You may need to talk with him. Cool. That seems like it's right up Jerry's alley, but we can have him on. Yeah. So I meant to say she met him today. She said he has some amazing stories. I bet he does. Clapton,
Life on Billy the road,
Joel, Chicago. Yeah. Okay, Jerry, what shows you got coming up? What do you got going on for Halloween? I'm going trick-or-treating with the nephews. I'm so excited.
Halloween, we're playing the Moon Ballroom this Friday in Dixon. It's right next to Idle Hour, the hotel.
You did not get me a poster. Very mad at you.
I know.
You gotta send us stuff. We're also,
it's my fault.
That's fine. Slapjaw is playing at the Moon Ballroom this week. Also, just so we haven't forgotten about it, I want to keep everybody posted. I am up to date. I'm up to date completely on.
I watch things. I just
for 28.
Type them out on the.
I'm 28 for 28. The 3 I haven't put up. I haven't put the Barn 2, and Frankenstein, which I saw today. I'll be putting those up after the show. I had to get home and do everything I need to get done. But thanks so much for joining us tonight. You can follow us if you like the show. Subscribe, Indie Escape Network, YouTube.
Oh, you like it. You know it.
You know you like it. Facebook. You can follow us on Instagram. Follow us all those different places. We do have some big shows, big things coming up in the works. As we progress through and do what magic stuff. We got some big things coming up, and this includes a premiere of the Indie Escape Network's Indie Brigade returns with our new host, Thomas J. Churchill. World premiere Wednesday, November 26, 10 p.m. with our good friend Joe Ridgley. We also have probably more episodes of John Dugan. He's riffing. We don't know, but we expect him anytime soon. But thank you for joining us tonight. A big movie coming out this week. It's a little one. I don't know if you've heard of it. Back to the Future is back in theaters. In IMAX, in Dolby for the first time.
Man, it was great seeing that in the theater.
Yes. One of the great movies, 1985, celebrating its 40th anniversary. Marty,
all three of
Doc.
them in the theater.
Yeah, all three. Yes, it's one of the great franchises. It's one of the great franchises. But thank you for joining us tonight. We went a little long. Last comment. Love you guys. Great show. Thank you, Cindy. We would not, without a Cindy Kamora comment at the end of the show, we would not be who we are. Thank you for joining us. We'll see everybody next week. Have a great, safe, amazing, wonderful Halloween. Trick or treat. Go with your family. Enjoy yourselves. Bob for apples. Do all the things you're supposed to do. Watch some scary movies. Listen to Monster Mash. Have a blast.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. Bye.